Wednesday, June the 2nd, 2020. Who am I? I am James. You are you. We are here back with our regularly scheduled host, our regularly scheduled setting, and what you know and love as At Home with James. Let's get right into the brass tacks of everything. This past Monday, I was not here. In my place was the one and the only Dave Kaufman. This was At Home with James with Dave, because it is important to distinguish that it was not At Home with Dave. That name will never change. It was At Home with James with Dave. Now, does that make me an egomaniac? Possibly. But we're not here to talk about that tonight. What I do want to talk about is the elephant in the room. Did Dave do a good job? Yes. Did Dave do a great job? Yes. Did Dave do an absolutely excellent job? Of course, the answer is yes. But I can't help but feel that nobody missed me. I can't help but feel that people looked at Monday's show like a breath of fresh air, as opposed to the breath of egg-soiled air that I breathe onto you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I understand that sometimes going away can make the heart grow fonder. So between you and I expect to have the biggest and boldest and most bodacious audience in at-home history. I am so excited to host this show that I forgot to do something for the first time in over 250 episodes. I am on the air with my glasses on, and we're going to take these off right now. But for the perverts out there, I don't want you to think, oh, is this some type of gag? What's next? Is James going to unbutton his shirt, revealing his t-shirt, and then is he going to take that off, revealing his chest hair and nipples? No. I keep a PG train on the tracks. Now, this is the thing about Dave's show on Monday. Did you hear the callers this guy had calling in? It was sex freak after sex freak after sex freak. This guy even had kids calling in, misbehaving. But all of that stops tonight, because everything that you know and you remember and you love about this show is back. And all of those things, of course, is James. On tonight's show, it's a big one. We have got, for the third time ever, Assaf versus Assaf. It's Anthony versus Andy to determine once and for all who the ultimate, the best, the greatest, whatever adjective you want to use to describe it is, who the number one Assaf walking the streets of Montreal is. Now, right now, the edge goes to Anthony. Why? He lives in Montreal. But in addition to that, he has also won the past two iterations of this competition. Tonight, we are going to give Andy a third and final chance to get back in the game, because if he can turn things around, he will do exactly what your Montreal Canadiens did this past Monday, completing the comeback and defeating the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, if at any moment tonight you think to yourself, is James looking down? It's because I am. You can't see it, but I am watching tonight's hockey game. Game one of the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, where the Winnipeg Jets take on, of course, your Montreal Canadiens. But I assure you that I will not be distracted or deterred. On Monday, Dave was saying, James, he's he doesn't care about his audience, right? He'd rather watch a hockey game than host a show. And that may have been true for one time only. So tonight I'm going to prove that I can multitask with the best of them, right? I will watch the hockey game and I will host this show. I keep referencing Dave. Am I a little jealous? Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I was so taken by his hosting prowess that I'm a little unnerved, perhaps intimidated, and yeah, maybe just a pinch jealous. But I'm going to prove that I am a benevolent leader of this show, because tonight I'm going to give Dave a performance review. And I'll say this right here, right now. It's looking good for Dave, but I want to get into the mind of Kaufman. We're going to check in with Dave later on while he is deep within the depths of the Dave Cave, aka his basement. Now, let's get things off on track. The hockey game is not the only competition that I am focused on tonight. I am focused on the number one competition in at-home history. It is now time. Anthony versus Andy, part 3 of Assaf versus Assaf. Open the gates. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Let us begin.
Let's
Anthony,
go.
You are coming to us tonight, Anthony, on location from what looks to be a potato factory. Anthony, how does it feel to be coming in as tonight's grand leader?
It feels good. It feels like I'm in the right place. It feels like I'm coming here at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
I fight to get my crown finalized tonight. Because I'm guessing it's the last one, because 3 is a nice number to end on.
Look,
who knows?
If Schoolhouse Rock taught us anything, it is that 3 is the magic number, and we're going to put that to the test tonight in the 3rd edition of this series. Andy, let's check in with you. Usually you're on the board. Of course, tonight it is much of the same, but you've got something to prove tonight. Andy, what are you looking to achieve coming into tonight's competition with Anthony?
James, I was really excited for tonight's game, the hockey game. But you know what? When you called me and you said, "Hey, we're gonna do another Assaf versus Assaf," I said, "Fuck hockey," because the real competition is gonna happen right here. So I called up my boys. I turned off the hockey game here at the pub. And they said, what the fuck is going on, bollocks? And I said, don't worry, boys. We're zooming in because you got to get my back in this competition.
Okay, so you're watching with a lot of rowdy Brits, it sounds like. Now, this is not part of the competition, but if it was, Andy, things would be looking well for you right now, because I'm getting from the chat right now that Anthony is, quote, barely audible.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Anthony, do you have any gain over there?
Yeah. Give me a second.
It could also...
While Anthony works on
that's a little too much.
That's a little too much. Here
While
I am.
Anthony
That's
works
good.
on that, Andy, let me chat with you, right? If audio is part of the competition, you'd have the inside track right now. It isn't, but I think you can use that as some type of rallying cry for your cause tonight. Are you ready for tonight's 3rd edition of Assaf versus Assaf?
More ready than I'll ever be.
I was born for this moment.
What we are going to do tonight is, while many children and teenagers are on the horizon of graduating high school, I'm actually going to take both of you back to school. And we are going to have ourselves an academic challenge to determine which of you happens to be smarter in the name of academia.
Okay. All right. Well, I was, James, I don't know if you knew this. I was an honors student. I was in the International Baccalaureate program. I was in pre-calculus in high school. And then afterwards, absolutely achieved nothing academically. But I'm great at school. All right. I just choose not to do it.
Fantastic. Then this might be your night. Anthony, let's check in with you. What type of student were you and how do you feel?
Academic challenge? When I was in high school, I went into what was called concentration science, which was a science based high school program. And then I graduated from Vanier College with a degree in pure and applied sciences. Went to university in math, ended up getting a degree in economics.
Okay, well, I will give you a spoiler right now. Science is not part of our categories tonight.
Great, I was never good in science.
Looks like we're going to concentrate on something else.
We absolutely are. Now, we are going to begin with our first academic challenge. This is a spelling bee. Each of you will receive 3 separate words that perhaps, depending on your skill in spelling, will either increase in difficulty, sustain itself in difficulty, or will not be difficult whatsoever. Are you folks ready?
I'm ready.
I learned how to spell at a young age.
Anthony, the first word goes to you. Your word is budget. Budget is your word.
Could you use it in a sentence?
Right. I need to go to the store to purchase groceries, but I'm working within a budget.
Okay. Do you have the etymology of the word?
I'm not sure that I even know the definition of the word that you just said.
That's totally fine. Origin?
We're breaking the budget of time of this segment, I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
Look, this is a spelling bee.
If wisecracks were part of this competition, Andy, you'd have another point. Because I like that wisecrack an awful lot.
All right. Budget. Budget. Budget.
Anthony, you are correct. You have correctly spelled budget. Andy, we're going to go to you.
That's no problem. Let's go. Come on, hit me.
Your first word is something that I think you're pretty familiar with. Your first word is erection.
Erection. Erection. Well, this one's easy. I know quite a lot about this.
Now, would you like for me to use it in a sentence?
No need. I have plenty of experience. Thank you very much, James. I learned what refractory period was last time on this show.
Sounds like someone is overcompensating.
So let's do this. Erection. E-R-E-C-T-I-O-N. Erection.
Andy, you are correct.
Yes.
Anthony, we now move over to you. Your next word is passage. Passage.
Passage. P-A-S-S-A-G-E. Passage.
Anthony, you are correct. That is the correct spelling of passage. Andy, are you ready for your next word?
James, I thought this was going to be another rigged competition, and I'm happy that we're actually finally comparing our actual aptitudes between the two Assafs here. So yes, I think I'm ready for my second word.
I understand your frustration. You've lost back-to-back. These are never rigged. Your next word, once again, something you might be familiar with. Your word is moisture.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I do have... Thanks, James. I do have quite a bit of knowledge about moisture, you know. I learned recently that I got to make sure after basketball that I don't stay moist because a certain itching has started in certain areas of my body. Okay? So I'm not a big fan of moisture, but I know that moisture is spelled moisture. M-O-I-S-T-U-R-E. Moisture.
Andy, you are correct. We are now both 2 for 2. There is only one word left for each of you in the spelling bee.
Easy.
Andy, make sure to rub Vagisil in the inside of your thigh for those problems.
Real mature.
No, it's a real advice.
Gentlemen,
it actually helps.
Does it actually help?
I want us to calm down. Trash talk is not part of this, but if it was, in addition to health tips, Anthony, I would have given you a point, but hygiene is not part of this competition. But I have your next word prepared. Are you ready?
Quick, timeout, James. We're still getting barely audible from Anthony. Can you hit me with some more levels, Anthony?
For sure.
Just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Now we're also in the chat hearing who's teching tonight. It is someone who has been batted around as number one tech. It is Andy, right?
Yes.
Is this better?
Yeah, that looks good. Chat, let me know if it's peaking at this point.
Sorry, chat.
Okay. Now, it seems like we're getting confirmation. The audio is good. It is now time for your third and final word. Anthony, your word is maybe something that Andy is also familiar with, gouging.
Gouging. G-O-U-G-I-N-G. Gouging.
Anthony? You are correct. That is appropriate spelling for gouging. Now, Andy, it is now time for your third and final word. Are you prepared?
So it's my round to lose, I guess, right?
Yes, I suppose you could say that.
All right, yeah, hit me with the word, James. I'm ready.
Your word is troglodytic.
What the fuck? Okay. That's equivalent to gouging as far as...
These are all randomized. Now, you could spell it out phonetically, and that might help you.
See, I knew the fix was in. Okay, the last two times we did this, it was all about how Anthony has a job and a stable relationship and functional mental health. And you know what? We
never talked about mental health.
Yeah, we never talked about mental health. He does have functional lungs and great lung capacity.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yours has been damaged due to a year of smoking that from a normal smoker would have been 10 years. You packed 10 years of smoking into 1 year of smoker's lungs.
Sure, some may say my lungs are a bit troglodylic. Okay,
but that wasn't the word I.
That was definitely
that's another
not
word that actually means what I meant it to mean. But it's fine. I'll spell this word out. I'll use it. I'll spell it out actually on a paper on behind this ACTRA check I received. No big deal. James, can I hear the word one more time?
Your word is troglodytic.
Troglodytic. Can I get the origin of the word?
I don't know the origin of the word.
Can I get it used in a sentence?
Yes. I was on a date with Dimitri Kires when I noticed his troglodytic-like hands.
Okay, now I know exactly what you're referring to. Troglodytic. The word.
Not only are you going to have a difficult time spelling it, you're having a difficult time saying the word.
Here it comes. Troglydic. Troglodytic.
You are incredibly incorrect. Once again, you spelled the word like you are saying it, which was troglodytic. The spelling is Troglodytic. Troglodytic.
You know what? I don't even need to use that word day to day because I have whatever the opposite of that kind of hands. Beautiful hands, in fact.
Sure. Yeah, so, well, you can use that to cash your ACTRA check.
Well, it's only $50.
Was it this were you in a Rice Krispies ad this time?
Well, I didn't get the ad. Okay, they pay you for callbacks for your time.
All right, look, let's move on. It is now time for our French test.
Oh, yes, let's go. Right. Okay, all right.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the word in English, and then it is up to you to translate it to French.
Ah, c'est bien.
Andy, since we've begun with Anthony in the previous round, we are going to begin with you in the first round. Your word is computer.
Computer. Okay. Now, I just want to say, James, I am still going to win this round, even though Anthony's first language, correct me if I'm wrong, was French.
I will not correct you. C'est vrai.
Le concentration français. But James?
No. I didn't go into French
Andy,
concentration. I want to jump
right in here. Now, this time around, you're breaking the budget.
Okay. Fair. We'll go with it. So you need me to translate the word computer?
Exactly. You need to take the word in English, computer, and give me the word in French.
Pas de problème. It is ordinateur.
That is correct. The answer is ordinateur. Now, Anthony, once again, the exact same challenge.
This is the most French I've ever heard you speak, James.
Oh, c'est pas un problème pour moi. Là.
Yeah,
I love it.
Je parle français tout le temps, là. Calisse, j'aime ça. Anthony, are you ready for your word?
I was born ready.
What I want to ask you is this. Are you nervous that Andy was able to give such a quick answer in a round that could seemingly go to you?
Not really, no. Because okay. I believe in Andy's skills. I think he can speak French and he can translate simple words in French.
Merci.
Why not?
Merci.
Great. Let's not waste any time. Anthony, your word is very apropos. Your word is hockey.
Well, that seems like a gimme.
Or is it a trap, Anthony?
These are randomized.
Okay.
Now, you are correct. That was absolutely perfect.
I have to do it with the accent because you can't say... They don't say hockey in French. They say hockey.
Exactly. Le match de hockey ce soir.
Ouais.
Okay. Now, we're going to amplify the difficulty. You are going to have to use that word in a sentence. But I'm going to give you the English sentence. It is up to you to translate the sentence. Now, Anthony, since we've begun with Andy, we are now going to begin with you. Are you ready?
Je suis prêt.
Your sentence is, I hope the Canadians win tonight's hockey game.
J'espère que les Canadiens vont gagner le match de hockey ce soir.
That is correct. I'm getting the word from my producer because I didn't want to fudge this in any way, so I've got one of my French producers on the job tonight. Andy, it is now your turn. You're going to need to use ordinateur in a sentence. Here we go. Yep. Your sentence is, your computer has a virus because you visited pornographic websites.
Your computer has a virus because you visited pornographic websites. Okay, yeah, that I could do. Can you repeat one last time?
Your computer has a virus because you visited pornographic websites.
Okay, votre ordinateur a un virus parce que vous avez visité un site web pornographique. Period.
Andy, shockingly, you have given us a correct answer.
Oh,
yes,
I'm sorry,
now,
Andy.
now, hold on,
I
now,
want to
hold
contest.
On. Now hold on. Yeah, please, let's contest.
Please. Andy said un virus. It's un virus.
Okay, hold on here. Anthony is correct.
I'm really sorry, Andy. Like, it honestly breaks. I swear.
That is so misogynistic that you just assume viruses are always masculine. So I'm going to contest. I'm going to do misogyny.
That's not how it works.
Feminist contention.
I'm sorry, but there is one chance that, Andy, you can retain the point. Anthony, if you can correctly translate Andy's sentence, he will not get the point. So, once again, your computer has a virus because you visited pornographic websites. Anthony, the floor is yours.
Votre ordinateur a un virus parce que vous avez visité un site web pornographique.
Boo.
Andy, I'm sorry, the tribe has spoken.
All kayfabe aside, it honestly breaks my heart to make that contest.
You know what?
Really does.
You can get all the points you want, but the court of the point system of public opinion is clearly on my side.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I was never popular.
Andy, I'm sorry. This is just the way the cookie crumbles. We are now going to move on to our next portion, which is physical education.
Oh.
Now,
yikes.
That's why I wore my Under Armour, baby, and my performance polo from Uniqlo.
It might serve you well. Anthony, we're going to begin with you. It is up to you to prove your physical fitness. The challenge that you have drawn is 3 consecutive standing squats.
Bet you're regretting not eating all those potatoes now, Anthony.
Now,
I don't need them. I just take pictures of them.
Carbo loaded before the competition. Big mistake.
Andy, I want you to settle your tea kettle. I know things aren't working out for you, but there's still time to turn it around.
All right,
Anthony.
You know what? Let me just get my standing desk to stand up. I have to crank it.
Standing desk.
I love this.
This is a physical education challenge, so I have to pump it up and make sure that everything's great.
He came prepared, and I love it.
It'll just be a few seconds. I'm sorry for the wait.
This is totally fine.
It's an IKEA standing desk.
While this is happening, don't forget to join us this Friday. I will be back in the driver's seat. Who's going to be here? Plenty of guests that I haven't booked yet.
This is the most exciting part of the competition.
I know it is. You're almost going to see my face.
No one has ever extended a standing desk on this show, but once again, this proves that, Anthony, you came prepared knowing that something might occur in which you need to crank your desk.
What kind of steampunk contraption is IKEA making that you have to hand crank it?
It's just a cheaper model than the one with a motor, and I don't have enough money to buy a $600 desk. So
now while this
$200 is all I could afford.
While this is going on, before I forget, I do want to acknowledge that our friend from the North Pole, Santa Claus, was here earlier, and he had a nice little roast for Dave, who is seemingly always on Santa's naughty list. He told us that Dave is coming to us. Of course, I mentioned from his basement. Santa referred to Dave as the cellar dweller, which I quite liked. Now, Anthony, are you ready to give us your 3 consecutive squats?
I'm ready. I'm even taking the potatoes away.
You've
all right.
left your potato factory.
Okay, I'm going to put down the mic, and you will see those squats.
Great. Now, I will be the official count keeper of this.
Here we go. 3, right?
This is 3. Here we go.
Oh, he's tied up by the headphones.
1.
I mean, we're not even seeing lower body.
He's got 2 to go. There we go. He's completed 2. He's got 1 to go.
How do we know he's not just on a chair, hydraulic chair?
Well, Andy, that's
I can crank down the desk again if you want to see.
You can crank down the desk. Now,
I'll do that while Andy does his thing.
It is now your turn. Are you ready for the physical fitness challenge that you received?
Yeah, let's go, James. I'm ready. I was born ready.
Andy, you have drawn 8 consecutive push-ups.
Okay, that seems a little bit more difficult.
Some people have a difficult time. For instance, I have a much harder time with squats than push-ups. Now,
there is laundry on the floor, man. That's of this pub.
We're gonna need.
Hey, better do your laundry, baby.
Okay, that.
We're gonna need 8 and I'm being told, Andy, you're on a timer. I wasn't aware there was a timer.
Okay, let's see if I can make this work here.
Here we go.
Put it on my mic stand. Nope, that's not
adjusting his camera.
Okay, let's see if you can see me.
Here we go.
Here.
I'm being told that within the next 10 seconds, your push-ups have to begin. Here we go.
Well, I know if you don't see me, you're going to say it doesn't count.
Yeah, Andy is struggling with his camera. He is struggling with his digital background. Here we go.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
4, 6, 7, 8, and I touched the ground on that last one just to show you guys.
Now, Andy, I have to tell you something. I believe that you did the push-ups, but due to your obsession with having funny Zoom backgrounds, none of us saw your push-ups. Therefore, we do not know if you did the push-ups. The points go to Anthony.
What? This is. I'm in a pub, but this isn't a background.
I'm sorry, Anthony. Or excuse me, I'm sorry, Andy.
Yeah, you don't have to apologize.
You know what? There was 100 bits donated. People have been saying that the plurals were not used properly by either of us in the second round, therefore making this competition unqualified. And on January 6th of 2022, me and the chat will be officially at your house, James, to reverse the results.
Is this your version of storming the Capitol?
Just follow the drops, chat. Follow the drops.
Andy, you have one last opportunity. Of course, this.
Oh, it's not over yet. Okay.
This would not be an academic challenge.
Hold that, chat.
Unless we focused on mathematics.
Oh, all right. Here we go. This is my jam. Pre-calculus, baby.
Is it?
Since we completed the phys ed challenge with Andy's supposed push-ups, we're going to begin with you. Anthony and Andy, you are both going to be given one addition problem. So this should not be out of the realm of your competence. Anthony, are you ready for your math problem?
Yep.
Addition? No long division?
It's just a sum and that's it? Like 3 plus 2 and that's it?
Exactly, but it's going to be a little bit harder. Anthony, here we go. Your math problem is 50 plus 5 plus 5 plus 40.
Okay.
100.
Anthony, is that your final answer? Do you need to do any recounting?
Okay. No, I'm good. Yeah, 100.
Anthony, that's the correct answer.
The gall on this man.
Andy, are you ready
or
for
James?
your math challenge?
Both of you. Yeah, hit me with my math challenge. Is it going to be 3.75 plus 782?
I think Andy
785.5.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Andy, your math problem is 10 plus 10 plus 20 plus 29.
I'm writing this down just to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
My numbers are correct. That's 10
hell yeah.
plus 10. That's 20. Plus 20, that's 40. Oh, I see what you fucking did here, James.
Now, before we give the answer, Anthony, do you know the answer?
Oh, I know the answer.
All right. Now, Andy, are you ready to lock in your answer?
Yes, James, it's 69.
69 is the correct answer. Andy, you have finally completed one of the rounds.
But who gets the point?
Hold on. Right. Okay.
Who's on the mic? Who's on his earpiece?
He doesn't have anything in his ear anyway.
Anthony,
He's just putting his finger in there.
hold on.
Do you have like a speaker in your finger, and that's
I
how
think
you
blocking him on this bit might give me the edge here.
Anthony, you got your answer correct, but Andy, you did too. But I'm hearing from our producer that because of the nature of the number that you gave and the connotations that it comes with.
What?
Hold on now. I'm still.
How is there more?
The people in charge would have wanted a trigger warning for the number and the answer.
Who are the people in charge?
I didn't write the question.
Who are the people in charge?
The people in charge, it's the Sir Wilfrid Laurier School Board.
This is.
Oh yeah.
This is.
And to go deep into that, these people in charge, they know what 69 does to the kids, and they were looking for some type of trigger warning before.
Folks, this is look, Wilfrid Laurier, screw him, he's a work
Sir
criminal.
Wilfrid Laurier.
Secondly,
Yeah,
I don't recognize that. Oh yeah, deduct all the points you want.
Now, Anthony, because you correctly added Sir to the name, there was actually going to be a bonus history round. And
oh, come on.
Hold on, they're telling me
this is the deep state, folks. This is what they're talking about.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
With James show.
I'm hearing there is no longer a need to conduct the history round because Anthony,
what?
Wilfrid Laurier, that was going to be the answer to a trick question. You correctly answered.
Nice. Is it the school board like as a whole is in your like earbud thing, or is it just one person?
This is the whole school board. I'm actually linked into the school board as well as the Parent Teachers Association.
Oh, the PTA.
So without any further ado, Anthony, you are walking away for the third consecutive time, the ultimate Assaf.
Okay.
I have to go to you, Anthony. What does it feel like? You said, you were quoted as saying moments ago, nice, but how does it feel?
Feels nice. I'm a man of a few words.
Yeah. Now, Andy's walking away. I don't know if he's going to try to do his mystery push-ups again.
No, I think he's going to go see his British friends who love hockey, apparently.
That one. Anthony, this was supposed to be the final challenge. If, and the operative word is if Andy were to challenge you for a fourth time, how do you feel going into that?
Well, Andy's my good friend. I would humor him, of course.
Thanks, man. Thanks. You know, none of this is towards you, Anthony. But the boys here, they're very upset about the results of tonight.
There's a dog as well.
We feel the dog is
on the
absolutely
other side.
upset, and we feel like much like certain let's call them elections, and much like the position 69. This result should be reversed and will be reversed. And me and the boys, we are going to be showing up.
Oh, you're going to storm the apartment?
I want to say the surfer.
Yeah, let the record show that
school board, but I don't think that's legal to do. So in a video game,
that would be a threat. You actually could get arrested.
This is
in a video game parody.
In the least, this probably crosses Twitch's.
What, to have an axe?
Yeah.
No, it's brandishing the axe that actually would be.
I'm not brandishing. This is a character.
You were no. You were brandishing it for a second.
Right.
You had it like this, and you were like.
Forget you saw
ready.
the axe. But many patriots in the audience, all right, they are on my side. You know, we might have lost the official competition tonight, James, but Andy Assaf has won the competition of public opinion on this, and there will be a reckoning. That's all I'll say.
All of your patriots. What are you guys known as, the Tall Boys? Yeah,
we are known as, and because we're Canadian led, we are known as the CBC Tall Boys.
Yeah, CBC Tall Boys season 3 next year.
All right. Well, look, I welcome Andy for you and all of your tall friends. Do your worst, but the fact is, this was a cooperative competition in cooperation with the Sir Wilfrid Laurier School Board. Anthony, I'm being told that once, right? once this whole COVID-19 thing clears up, they would like to have you as a guest of honor at a banquet of the intelligent.
It's called the banquet of the intelligent.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're going to be invited to an Epstein-style banquet at the Sir Wilfrid.
They're telling me that you're also invited because they're always looking for janitors.
Okay.
Janitors are well paid.
It's true. Well,
you know what?
This one does not come with pay, but you are welcome to eat the leftovers at the snack table. Andy and Anthony, we are out of
James,
time.
I just want to ask one question.
Of course.
Does Andy's appearance as a janitor at the banquet of the intelligent count towards a Canadian Screen Actors Guild card?
No.
I didn't even know there was a Canadian Screen. You know what? Everyone in the chat, you know what to do. Read the drops. We will have our revenge.
Read the drops.
And you know what? Congrats, Anthony.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Who knows? Maybe the rematch that no one thought would ever happen might happen. But until then, I wish you a good night and great competing.
Yeah, have a good night, everybody.
That was the third and possibly final installment of Assaf versus Assaf for an unprecedented third straight occasion. Anthony walks away with top honors. This guy didn't even break a sweat after cranking out 3 what looked to be strenuous squats. He got the job done just as he always does. Now, I noticed a couple things in the chat earlier. Someone said James isn't even paying attention to the chat. That is not true. That's what we like to call in the comedy industry a gag, right? The whole gag is that I don't pay attention to the chat. I assure you that I'm paying attention to the chat. Now, I know that there's certainly some controversy coming out of that edition of Assaf versus Assaf. There's talks about collusion. There's talks about boycotting. If you have any issue, you can send me an email at homewithjamesshow@gmail.com. I can't guarantee that I will answer it, just like I don't often answer what goes on in the chat. But I will look at it just like I do with what I see in the chat. And I think that people are a little feisty right now because they're not used to this type of hosting after Dave hit a home run the other night, right? People were sending me emails. I love Dave. Dave should do it again. Maybe Dave should be the permanent host. Dave is a better man than you. Dave is taller than you. Dave is more successful than you. Dave has sexual intercourse. Well, I got news for you. Dave does not have sexual intercourse. But let us welcome the man of the hour. They're celebrating him just like the people of the Sir Wilfrid Laurier School Board are celebrating Anthony Assaf. They're celebrating Dave just like I am celebrating the Montreal Canadiens' current 3-1 lead on the Winnipeg Jets at 18 minutes of the third period. Let's get him in here. It's Dave Kaufman. Dave, what's up?
Hey, James, what's going on? Good to be here on the At Home with James show.
What's that?
Good to be here on the At Home with James show.
Well, it's good to have you on the At Home with James show. How's your night?
It's good for you to be hosting.
What's that?
It's nice for you to be hosting.
Well, thank you. It is very nice for me to be hosting, but it was doubly nice for you to take over hosting duties on Monday when I was a tad indisposed.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, don't worry.
Don't worry about.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna Leno you.
You're not gonna
swoop in and take over your talk show,
right?
Beneath, I'm not gonna. You're not the David Letterman to my Jay Leno.
Look,
you're not the Conan O'Brien to my Jay Leno.
Dave, I know that there's a lot of talk that I may have been intimidated or rattled. Yeah, you know what? I said at the top of the show, I was a little jealous at all the love you got, but I also think that people love the new, fresh thing. And that's not to say that they shouldn't, right?
Sure, yeah. Young guy comes in, full of confidence, brimming, eager at the opportunity. And
well, I don't know if I would say confidence.
Well, I mean, come on, look at me.
Yeah, well, look, you're a good-looking guy, but, people were really excited about New Coke when it was developed, right? But before you know it, they were banging on the doors for the classic stuff.
Sure, and people were excited when Facebook came out, but MySpace, they thought, this is no big deal, until, well, look at it now.
Yeah, well, That is true. Now, I want to touch on something I'm noticing in the chat right now. Somebody in the chat, of course, it's Thomas Barnwell. He says he smells a Leno. How do you respond to that, David?
Look, the only thing Leno about me is my love for my garage that's right over there. So
right.
Now, if I'm going to be hosting a show, it's going to be centered around my my garage.
Well, our friend of the show, Santa Claus, he called you a cellar dweller earlier on. You're the only person that Santa has been known to tease on this show. Of course, you broadcasted from the Dave Cave, which is very different than my general broadcasting area. It's in my living room because, of course, the show is at home, very nicely lit, a lot of Coke paraphernalia, where you came to us from kind of a damp setting.
Yeah, it's a little, it's like, the original Batman came out. It was sort of a jovial movie. And then Christopher Nolan came out with his classic, which was like a darker sort of gritty thing. And people really fell in love with it.
Right. Yeah. Look, you're correct. I'm not here to, on any level.
Didn't have like a Mr. Freeze sort of hokiness to it.
Well, okay. Well, in the name of that, chill out for a second.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to take anything away from you. I thought you did a great job.
Thank you.
But I would like to not just hear, I don't want to kiss your rear end. I want to see what type of job you think you did, which is why I want to perform a very simple and pressure-free performance review.
Okay, sure.
Now, I want to ask you a question. What would be the 3 words that you would use to best describe how you hosted on Monday if you were to give yourself positive remarks?
Probably say, funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say biting.
Oh.
And smooth.
Funny, biting, and smooth. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you the same question. 3 words that you would use to best describe what you think you could work on coming out of Monday's hosting gig.
Maybe being a little less funny in like the serious moments.
Right. Yeah. Well, you had a lot of callers that were certainly veering towards more of the serious, right? Okay.
Yeah,
what else?
Sort of take it down to like a serious interview a la Tom Schneider.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit better prepared on the interview questions.
Okay.
And could have used a little bit of carpool karaoke.
Oh, so it sounds like, you've talked about Letterman, Leno, Tom Schneider. Now it sounds like you're referencing James Corden.
Yeah, one of the great talk show hosts up there with the Letterman, Johnny Carson, and James Corden.
James Corden. Okay, well, if the results
Just
of
like,
Assaf, if the results of Assaf versus Assaf got the chat fired up, certainly you putting James Corden in the same category as those 3 other gentlemen, that might get them doubly fired up.
One of the great James hosts.
Yeah, one of the great James hosts, right? Probably the greatest.
Probably the greatest host that's ever been named James.
Okay, now I want to touch on things that you wish you would have worked on. Now, if you were to host the show again, what are some things that you would use to integrate into the show that gives it that specific Dave touch?
Would have, maybe done some man on the street interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Like a jaywalking kind of thing.
Right, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, though.
What else?
Maybe a couple of comedic bits.
Such as?
Like a wacky character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes Conan at the beginning of his show, like there'll be someone in the audience, but you know that maybe they're not a real
the FedEx
member.
Pope was one of the greats.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not really a FedEx Pope in the audience.
That's true. Now, what else would you integrate?
Maybe a live band.
A live band. Well, such as?
Like Jimmy Gavino and the Tonight Show band.
Right, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So once again, it sounds like you would really like to have more of a late night talk show type of vibe. This whole thing has kind of been about emulation, and in this question, you're kind of ripping things off on some level.
Well, I mean, what time is it?
Well, it's currently a little bit before 10 to 10.
It's a bit late at night, right?
Right. Okay.
It's a talk show, no?
All right. Yeah, sure. Now, continuing on with the performance review.
Okay.
Right?
You didn't really give me any feedback there.
Well, look, I want to hear your feedback on it because, look, I've given you nothing but gushing reviews. I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Right?
I appreciate that.
Now, as we continue this performance review, you talked about things that you would have liked to have integrated, things that you want to improve on. I want to know how you felt about your interactions with the guests. You talked about getting down to a more serious level. How did you feel about your guest banter? Of course, you had Alex Brown, Saima Ahmed, you had Sid Rock. How do you feel about banter with guests?
I thought we had some nice light conversation, just like Corden would do.
Yeah.
And
another Corden reference, yeah.
So I could have maybe asked like a hard-hitting question.
Okay. So if you could turn back time, what's a hard-hitting question? Let's say you would have asked Alex. Take your time.
Okay, I'll take my time. Favorite store?
Right. Okay. Favorite store. Now, if you were to ask Saima a hard-hitting question, what would that be?
It's tough.
Yeah. Well, look, prepping is hard, but I'll tell you what I do. You know what I do?
Well, what's that?
I think about it, and I don't beat myself up about it. So take your time.
No, that's not good. I might ask her the favorite store question again.
Okay. All right. Now, if we were to think about what you'd ask Sid was here as well, too. Now, maybe things are getting a little, tense, tight. What's in maybe an upbeat question you might ask Sid?
What's your favorite porno?
His favorite porno, right? That's silly, right? And look, adult entertainment comes up on this show a lot. It came up earlier on.
Yeah, so you would ask. Dirtbag said 69.
Now, of course, well, we don't want to. We're going to try to forget
trigger warning.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I forgot the trigger warning.
Now, if you were performing in that competition, you would have received the marks there. Now, Dave, to recap, you would have asked Alex, "Hey, what's your favorite store?" You would have asked Saima, "What's your favorite store?" And you would have asked Sid, "What's your favorite pornographic film?"
Yeah.
Now, this is the final part of your performance review. Now, I'm going to put you on the hot seat here, Dave.
Okay.
Dave, I'm going to have you for the next few minutes or so. You're going to interview me.
Okay, sure. All right. Welcome back to At Home with James with Dave. I'm your host, Dave Kaufman, coming to you live from the basement. We got a great guest coming on the show. Please welcome James McGee.
Hey, Dave, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure. It's going pretty well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. I'm excited to be on the show. It's such a nice role reversal right now.
Yeah, it's great. So people want to know, what's your favorite store?
My favorite store?
Yeah.
It can be any store or specific store.
Any store.
Any store. Okay. You know what? I might go with the dollar store.
Oh, that's good.
There's a lot of good discounts.
Well, I don't know if they're discounts.
Well, a lot of the items are discounted.
Well, they're always that price.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like about it. I like the discounted nature that's built into
it's not really discounted. It's just cheap.
Yeah. Well, I guess discounted in a comparison to normal prices.
Well, I mean, they're normal. They're that.
It's like the discount bin of stores.
No, it's kind of just like a store where everything's cheaper.
Who are you hosting here?
Sorry?
Yeah, what kind of show are you hosting here? I'm giving you my.
I'm just trying to get to the root
All right. Well,
the question. This is a hard-hitting question. So
all right. Well, yeah. Okay. So
I'm
I'd
going to take an easy answer on this one.
The Dollarama, the dollar store is my favorite store.
All right.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite porno?
Favorite porno? Well, I'm gonna have to give a trigger warning right now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, this is a movie that's based around I guess a time period.
Okay.
It's called 69.
Oh. All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show, James. We appreciate it.
Well, that's it. There's no other questions. You don't have any like fun characters or a segment?
Characters?
Yeah.
You want me to tell you to be a character?
All right, let's put a pause on that hosting there. Now, Dave, how'd you feel about that hosting? Right, it was a little confrontational, a little rickety.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been working on. You know, is hard-hitting questions.
Well, that was I don't know. Would you call that a hard-hitting question?
Yeah. All
right. Well, yeah, I would say as a guest in that moment, I felt a little unnerved.
Good.
Oh, so that's what you're looking for.
That's what I was going for, yeah.
Okay, so this makes more sense. You're looking to make your guests a little bit uncomfortable and keep them on the edge of their seat to give maybe the most honest of answers.
Yeah, you've seen Tom Schneider and James Corden, right?
Yeah, well, I would say that Tom Schneider is certainly more known for his type of questioning than James Corden. I wouldn't say James Corden asks. Dave, it just sounds like you're a big James Corden fan.
I mean, I'll say.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like your style of hosting is heavily influenced by James Corden.
And Tom Schneider.
And so you are looking to blend the world of Tom Schneider and James Corden.
Yeah. And maybe a little bit of Jay Leno.
Maybe and a little bit of Jay Leno.
As far as the jaywalking goes.
So we know that James Corden likes carpool karaoke. So what if, to blend that with Tom Schneider, you ask hard-hitting questions that leads to not upbeat songs, but very emotional songs?
That's good.
Yeah, so maybe you'd have Eric Clapton in the car, and it would lead to you singing "Tears in Heaven."
Yeah. And then I'd ask him a question about his.
Yeah, we don't have to get into the specifics of that song, but but maybe at the end of it, you and Eric Clapton pull over. And you start doing a man on the street gig, kind of a la jaywalking.
Yeah, that's the perfect. I think you just described the perfect late night segment.
Yeah, I just described the perfect late night segment. Well, Dave, look, as we begin to wrap up, anything else that you'd like to say to your adoring fans who were absolutely blown away by your hosting?
Look, I know tonight it's a hockey game and James is hosting the show, but you got to believe that when it comes to a game 6 or 7, he's not going to want to be here, and I'll be back, so don't worry.
Now, Dave, I got to tell you something. That's where you're wrong.
Oh.
Right? You just said when it comes down to a game 6 or 7, you said James is not going to want to be here, right? You said that.
That's correct.
Well, you are so incorrect about that. So incorrect. And I want to prove it to you right now.
Okay.
This Monday is game 4, and I don't want to be here.
Okay.
And that's why right now I would like to offer you next Monday's show.
Wow.
Right? You're here saying that I only care about game 6 and 7. How dare you insult my allegiance to the Montreal Canadiens? I want to watch game 4 on Monday. So, Dave, I want you to answer now. Do you want to bring your Schneider-esque, Corden-esque, Leno-esque talents back to Twitch this coming Monday?
This is a hard-hitting question, James, and I love it. I'm in.
Now, my follow-up question is, Dave, will you be taking phone calls on Monday?
I believe the phone lines on Monday will be open.
It's kind of interesting that the phone lines are only open when you're here.
Well, I control the phone lines.
That's true. And you're a big fan of the phone calls.
I am, yeah.
Dave?
Underrated technology.
Yeah. On the list of most underrated technological advancement, phones would be at the top of the list. Dave?
Alexander Graham Bell spinning in his grave.
Dave, I'm going to tell you something. You You unlocked Monday's show because of how well you did on this performance review. So much of it was hinging on, and I got to say something. I don't know what your other performance reviews were like in life, but this one may have been your best. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.
See you everybody on Monday.
Folks, that was Dave, and that's our show tonight. You believe this guy? He says, I only care about game 6s and game 7s. I'm going to tell you something right here, right now. It's the playoffs, baby. And you know what I'm saying right now? I'm saying the Canadians have just extended the lead in tonight's game 4-1 over the Winnipeg Jets. I'm telling you something right now. That jet, it's running out of fuel fast. And that thing is going down faster than Andy on a lover. Folks, that's our show tonight. Congratulations to Andy Assaf for his just unbelievable loss tonight. Unbelievable. And even bigger congratulations to Anthony Assaf for his victory for a third consecutive time. And of course, I have to thank the audience. I appreciate your support. I don't want you to feel like I'm turning my back on you. I certainly don't. You want to know why? The real reason is that I want to spice this show up. Last Friday, I said it's time to get weird. And everyone who comes on this show gets weird. Maybe I want to get a little weird. Maybe I want to blow this sucker up. Maybe things are going to get freaky, funky, wild, wacky. And I might be at the helm of that. And I want you to just sit down, relax, whether you're watching on your couch, your lazy boy, your ottoman, your bench, your stool, your toilet, your tub. I want you to be here because in some way, shape, or form, whether Dave's hosting or I'm hosting, I'm always here, just like the man upstairs, Jesus Christ. So I want to say, God bless you. I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and of course, be well.